Welcome back to the Mouthful for a special Halloween episode. I have my lovely friend Chantel on the phone, monster.mua, MUA on the call again for the Halloween specials, spooks and scares. Dressed up, we're both in our Halloween costume. I believe you probably have another one on the line on the go.
Actually, but
oh. How many do you have?
I actually just have this one and then one. Well, actually, no, I do technically have two more. So, because we're having a Halloween party here this weekend, and then actually Halloween will be probably something different. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Who else to have a Halloween episode with, right?
Exactly. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's the best. And like your makeup is amazing as always, but
thank you.
When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look, a little bit scared, but then I was sure I would be scared by what your outfit. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, yours looks awesome too. You did a really good job. I'm really impressed. So,
thank you. Well, I mean, I tried, and I'm like a zombie burn victim, but like it's more in my outfit. If you like, my outfit is like burned.
Oh, okay,
everything.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
It's like holy.
Yeah. You went right for it.
I really wanted to do it because I'm just like, well, I had like the old clothes and was like, let's just have fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did with my stuff too. Like any old stuff that I have laying around, I was like, oh, I'll keep that later for something, a costume I can use, or a photo shoot or whatever.
Yeah.
It always comes in handy.
It's true, but it's funny because like I always think like, oh, I'm going to use some makeup or whatever in between or need some. But now it's like almost compounding it. I really do have like a bin, and I feel like it's just going to get bigger and bigger. It really is, because I don't really feel like. I mean, what do you do with extra makeup stuff? What do you do or costume stuff?
I have bins too. I have 3 bins. One is specifically just for makeup, and then the other 2 are for costumes.
You have 1 bin just for makeup?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Well, I guess you like sculpt, right?
Yeah. I have everything. I've got latex, blood. I mean, I have like 5 probably different kinds of blood, maybe more.
I have to say, I'm going to make this joke, but because I don't think you'd be scared of it. But like, if anyone tried to murder you, do you know how easy it would be to like be like, well,
I know.
Have all the blood.
It's funny because sometimes when I'm doing makeup here, if there's like blood or something, I'll be like, oh, this is definitely a murder scene. Someone's going to think someone got murdered in here, I'm sure.
1,000,000%. Sometimes if you're like putting it on in the bathroom and it like gets on the countertop and you're just like, oh, this looks actually bad.
Oh yeah. There's a couple of times where like I have thought about going outside, but I'm like, maybe not. But everybody on this really knows how much of a Halloween fiend I am. So,
like the thing is, it'd be different if it's on the actual, well, or even very close to Halloween, right? But like you do your makeup year round, so like if you're walking around, people are like, oh my god, what is happening?
Yeah, actually there was one shoot that Antonio actually took photos of me where we did an Evil Dead inspired, and we went and took pictures out in like a parking lot area just down in front of our apartment, and we was like in the elevator just like waiting just for someone to come in and say, what is going on? Because luckily we didn't run into anybody. Someone did see us from like down the street, but nobody actually like ran into us from the building. So, but that's the only time that I've ever done
that. Yeah, that'd be funny. And I mean, like, I haven't seen it, but how could the statistics of murder not go up during Halloween? It just seems like it would be like, oh, there's someone just, oh, he's holding his friend. He's just dragging his friend as a costume. Oh, okay.
Yeah, easily to get rid of a body. Oh yeah, it's just my friend.
Right?
He's drunk.
This is just a prop that I have.
Yeah.
Just a prop. Oh my god, it's so funny. Yeah, so we love Halloween, and I still kind of am surprised at myself that I like Halloween, because as we spoke before, I used to be just scared of everything, just terrified, and then now I'm the one talking to people and terrifying, and I love it.
Right.
like even at work.
No, go ahead.
Like even at work, I've gone in a zombie before. Like it's weird. I love surprising people. So like there's years where I go to work and I'm a beautiful, like even actually attractive woman, like, and not just making up, but like sometimes people, if I'm decked out, people haven't noticed until I speak, or they like take a better look at me, and they're like, oh, it's you. But like other times I'm like this gross zombie, and I was telling people about like the costume idea, and they were like, yeah, you can do it, but just make sure that it's not like too gory. And I'm like, okay. I think this level should be fine, because they said I came as a zombie another year, and they said it has to be that level, and that was still pretty. It's on my my Facebook, is that like I did like scarring, and I did makeup and blood in between, so it wasn't. It's pretty spotty.
I think I remember that actually.
Yeah, and so I mean. I'm gonna, I think this is like a good level. I might make it a little bit more polished, but like I don't think it turned out as bad as I expected. Like in the head wound was fun.
Yeah, right? I love making wounds. Wounds are my favorite.
That sentence was the best.
Well, actually, speaking of that, I have fingers. Like fake fingers. Like it's a latex finger.
Oh my god. Can you put them on or no? Just like
no, it's like a severed finger. But it's actually my finger.
Oh, gotcha.
Just made out of
latex. What do you mean? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then you're just like eating them, like.
Yeah.
I still think the costume you did with the worm intestines. Oh, I remember seeing that, and that was like the first thing, like the first one of the first ones that stuck to me, because it was like, holy shit, this is that. You're like. And I'm like,
intestines. Yeah, it's funny. I made a TikTok video of that, and someone said, "What are they? They're like intestines aren't food." And I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm a zombie, so like.
Oh, I thought the person would be like, "Y'all need Jesus."
Oh no, I've had people say that too.
Yeah, exactly, and I guess it would be kind of hard in your to actually explain. I mean, not that you have to, but like to be like, oh no, I'm like I'm completely sane, and like this is not me actually thinking of doing this to people. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. People have made presumptions of me before they've actually gotten to know me. So I just like, well, I mean. If it matters, then I'll make an effort to change it. But other than that, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You don't need to. You don't need to cater to them. It's just, and it's fun, and it's just fun. I love it.
Yeah,
Halloween should just be fun.
it should be.
I'm,
I mean, I like doing it all year round, but I mean, it's not for everybody.
like some, yeah, exactly. Some people like the very, like clean and like just I'm being a costume of a Disney person or something like or cat or but other people like that for like scary shit too. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So I did have a couple ideas of what we could go to do. We were thinking about doing Halloween trivia. You suggested that. But the thing is, I'm actually not good at remembering specifics of like even details of a movie because they jumble together a lot for me.
Yeah. I can understand that.
But I mean,
certain details for me, like dates and stuff like that, are not very good. I mean, depending on like what it is, I'm usually already.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I think when it's like horror and concepts seem to collide. I think in my mind they're like, oh well, this was also similar. No, I'm thinking like I even Myers. I always get confused between him and Jason for some reason, even though I've watched those movies separately. And are you excited for the new one? Oh,
for Halloween Kills.
Halloween.
Yeah,
is that the name? Halloween Kills.
Halloween Ends. I saw it.
The End. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Halloween Ends. Yeah, I saw it.
I thought it's 28th. I thought it comes out at the end of the month.
No, it came out like last week, I think, or something like that.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the end of the month. Oh, how was it? Oh no!
I wanted to like it.
No.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis. How could? No.
See,
I'm surprised by that.
She's still super badass in it, but there isn't a lot of Michael Myers in it.
There's not a lot of what?
There's not a lot of Michael Myers.
Oh, weird. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. The way that they do it in this one, they bring in a character that it focuses on that nobody's even heard of before. And so it kind of, I don't know, seemed to lose its way a little bit.
What a weird idea. Like, that's the end. Sounds like it's the end of their story.
Yeah, so technically it does end with Laurie and him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say too much and give it away, but yeah, so it does end up the two of them being like basically fighting at the end. But leading up to it, it's very I don't know. Even the even the fight at the end was kind of disappointing. I was like, oh man, I wanted more like, I don't know, oomph, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, like a longer fight.
Yeah. It wasn't long, and it wasn't. I don't know. It was missing something, and I think after Halloween Kills, like the second one, I wasn't really a fan of the second one either.
Oh, okay.
And it even kind of took off more of a turn from like what we originally thought it was going to be, like the end.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is it more talking about like, oh, how this like prophecy, I guess? Prophecy? Was it focusing on that?
Yes. So they kind of focus on as what is like like taking over Michael, like what makes him do it.
Oh, okay. So like the curse itself, yeah.
Yeah,
Talking about the
yeah,
curse.
basically, yeah. Like the curse of the shape, the curse of Haddonfield, it kind of takes over somebody else that is similar to him in a way.
Oh well, that's why do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Aw.
Like, it's one of my favorite franchises too. I mean, like, some of the other movies are not that great either. Like, Halloween Resurrection was horrible with Busta Rhymes. I don't know if you saw that one.
The with who?
With Busta Rhymes.
No, I don't remember that.
So they end. It's
Busta
like
Rhymes was in it. What the
yeah,
hell?
yeah. He actually had like a battle. Him and Michael Myers have a battle at the end. It's actually quite hilarious.
Oh yikes!
He does like kung fu moves on him and stuff. Like it's absolutely
Wow! Oh my!
yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be like this reality
I can't-
show that's supposed to be happening in the Myers home, and he's one of the hosts or whatever, and then Michael ends up actually coming back to the house and kills the people who are on the TV series or whatever.
Okay, weird.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds still like the weirdest movie.
Yeah, it is. Like I mean, I don't know.
Busta Rhymes is just in it.
Halloween
Randomly.
pretty close to it. I don't want to say that, but it was. It really. I don't know. I don't know what exactly I was really hoping for.
Huh. I would have expected like just I don't know, maybe it was just how she was advertising the fact that like the poster where she's just like standing in front like the end, just like fuck, this is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
What is with these remakes recently?
I know they've been really bad.
The Matrix reboot, I guess. I didn't hate it, but it was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
I didn't even see that one because I heard it wasn't really that great. I do like Keanu Reeves though.
Yeah. I mean, it's great in some ways, but it's basically just like, how do I explain it? So okay, so reincarnation, right? Reincarnation with Hinduism, especially, it just seemed to draw a lot from that.
Yeah.
And one of the main principles of that is that like you'll always find your soulmate in the next life, whatever life it is, you will find your soulmate again. And it just seemed like that's the premise of the whole thing. It wasn't very much about anything else or Smith or whatever. It was just, and there was like parallels of being like, I remember you, and it's just like flashback, and you see flashback of him. But like, I don't know. As a standalone movie, it was not good. It was more just like saying, "Oh, remember when you saw this before? Wow."
Yeah.
But,
remember when?
and yeah, it's basically it wasn't bad. I still, because I love Matrix, I still even got the DVD. I'm like, whatever. I just Blu-ray. I just love it. But
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Because me and Antonio were talking about it, and I was like, I don't know if I want to add Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends to my collection. I kind of want to just leave it at Halloween 2018 because that was actually really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it just sucks that it was like it ended as like, oh well, something will happen now, right?
Yeah.
What is she gonna do? But then.
But the newest Scream was actually really good.
Which?
Scream 5.
Oh, Scream 5. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that one.
I kind of got out of the Scream.
That was out during the summer, I think sometime, because we went and saw it when we were in Winnipeg, I think.
Scream. Oh, that's the one with Courtney Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I should watch it.
There is another one that's supposed to be coming out. But
Oh, really?
yeah. Apparently Nev Campbell is not coming back as Sidney Prescott, though.
I wonder why.
Apparently there was something to do with like the contract. She wasn't getting enough money.
Oh.
And so she turned it down, and apparently now there's been interviews, I guess she said, that she's kind of regretting turning it down, but I don't know if they'll bring her back.
Mm-hmm.
It might be like kind of done. So.
Yeah, sometimes the people just are done with the series. Yeah, I watched Ma recently.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Ma.
Ma.
It's just it's hard to just like, you don't know what you're going to get with it, because I guess, yeah, it's good. It was good for that you didn't know what you were getting. I don't know if I would say it is a good movie. And Octavia. Well, the thing is that Octavia is amazing. Octavia Spencer is amazing.
I do really like it.
There's she's like crazy great at acting, like one of the best actresses. Anything I see her in doesn't matter. What was the other thing she was in with the Help? Oh, yes. My God.
Yeah, I heard.
She's just amazing. I don't know. It's amazing. It really is. But she never did horror, and it's kind of like some people wondered, like, why did you even decide to choose this one? But again, like everything she does is great. So her role in it, her acting is just like phenomenal.
Yeah.
But it's more just like the script itself is just there's one thing that really annoys me with horror movies, and I don't know if it's the same with you. It is hard to do, but a lot of times there's just so many outs for characters that I'm like, wait, humans don't act like this. Mm-hmm. You get creepy. She was creepy. No. I get that and especially when it's groups, right? Like, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe one or two are still going to like her, and then other people have to go back and save them or something. You know what I mean? But like, one typically, like, if it's a really creepy thing that happens and you don't have any ties to this person, you won't go back to them ever, and you should not, right? No. You're not they're not a lover, they're not anything like that even, they're just a creepy person. I don't know if you would keep going back to this person. Like, it's just, I don't know. There's just so many outs of like, oh, I'm going to tell my parent now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Yeah. But it's just but it is creepy. She's like this, and it's also psychological, where she's this older woman, and she like wants to be part of friends with the kids again. So she like helps them, boots them, and like has them in her home and stuff like that. And it does escalate. I did think at some points, like, I don't know how to explain it. It just seemed like pretty cautious throughout most of it, and then the climax was like really, like her craziness was like really high. Yeah. But I just felt like it could have been more crazy throughout a little bit. But I mean, I guess that's the story they were going for. Like, oh my God, and then this is just building inside of her, but it's not really. I don't think it was portrayed very well in the story. Like, and now she's like going to be this crazy with everyone.
Yeah,
I would recommend.
Went from 0 to 60, like leading up to it, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, it led up only like in creepiness, like general creepiness, but then then it went like, then she went like villain, right? But I don't know. I just think they could have been. I watched a review and one guy said like he thought they should have been braver, like in how creepy she is with other things. I guess like if you're gonna make her creepy, make her really creepy, like in every way, and she was in some ways. But it was like, oh, at one point she like kisses a teen, which is really creepy, and that's not a big story. But like I don't know, they kind of made her like they wanted to make you like her. And I don't really know why as much.
Yeah, I find that some horror movies do that. They make you really want to like the villain or like the antagonist in the story or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely recommend the movie. It's pretty good, and like some things that it touches on are in society are really good. Like it really is heavily focused on like the effects of bullying, which is great. I love that. But I mean, but there's just a lot of like, I don't know, is this a horror or what is this? What's happening right now?
Is it more of like a psychological horror?
I think so. Because it's not that, I mean, it's just very a lot of it, the movie is very internal in her, which is, so it's like that. Yeah. So I guess it is like psychological from her point of view and everything.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. It's been on my list for a while, and I keep passing over it. I just never watched it yet.
I get it. I just watched it when I was very high, and then it was just like, okay.
That's usually when horror movies are the best. When you're like,
right. Well, I mean, like, yes, exactly. Normally that makes it like so great. But I was just like saying why a lot. I was like, but why? Why are you?
Right.
Like, I get your idiots and your teens, but like, I'm like, no.
Why?
You're not. Why? So is Mike Myers your favorite monster, like villain?
Oh,
he's not really a monster, but he is.
Definitely, probably not my favorite. I really like Chucky. Like, I really like Charles Lee Ray. But it's probably
really,
yeah. It's because I really like Dorif. And I don't know, Chucky just has always been really like extra, I don't know, creepy, but like also funny at the same time. I don't know. I just really like the character.
Well, funny just because like of the concept, or did you think like his jokes while he's chasing people was funny?
Oh no, his like jokes and his one-liners and stuff are absolutely fantastic.
I don't really remember that much other than just like, I'm gonna kill you, and he was like, that shit scared me so much as a kid. Just like I was like, and also I remember my brother had said along when I was little, and he had said like, oh, if you when you're asleep, your toys come alive.
Oh,
and I think that was kind of around the same time. So I'm just like, oh fuck, I cannot watch that.
My dolls are gonna come alive and kill me.
Right, it was terrible. No, I don't know. Well, depending on if it's villain or monster, because my favorite movie we've already talked about is the Hereditary. Like that is just everything about it scares me, but it's not even that. It's actually scary that there's not really a monster either, right? It's demon. It's like a force watching and influencing and terrorizing this family, and it's just I think that's way creepier. The fact that you can't really stop it.
Yeah,
they try and
it's more of an entity than anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, but I think for like a villain, if for just even enjoying them on screen, it would be Freddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Freddy
Freddy
Krueger.
Freddy Krueger is one of my favorites. Him or like Pennywise. It is probably another one of my favorites.
Pennywise. Oh, okay. Which version though?
Tim Curry's by far.
Oh, okay.
I mean, for like for creep factor, Bill Skarsgård for sure, the newest one.
Mm-hmm.
But I grew up with the like OG. That was one of the first horror movies I watched. So like that one really, I don't know, was stuck in my head. I always really hated the scene where he was coming up through the shower drain. I always thought he was going to come up through her shower.
Yeah. I hated that he could do that. That's just like, it's just not fair. I'm like, no.
Yeah. But I have to say probably like one of my newer favorite ones would be Art the Clown from Terrifier.
Haven't seen that. Terror Flower?
No, Terrifier.
Terrifier.
Yeah.
Terrifier?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like Terrifier? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like Terrifier. I just typed in Terrifier.
Terra and Fire.
Oh, yeah. This is a remake, isn't it? Or I guess number 2.
So there is a second one that just recently came out.
Oh, that's so scary.
The second one apparently is actually been making people throw up in the theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
apparently it's super gory and people are like passing out or like throwing up. It's like pictures and
so it's like the Saw level of gore.
Yeah, but probably more like when The Exorcist first came out. The Exorcist actually made people like throw up and stuff as well. I know that there was another.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Where? Or just I guess it's not gore, but it throws up a lot, right?
Yeah, so. she throws up like that green, like throw up stuff. But I guess because of the like actual like possession of her, I guess just the way that they depicted it, I guess made people ill. And back then, I mean, nobody had really seen anything.
Oh right, yeah.
So, yeah, there was an.
Yeah. I remember.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
There was another one recently, and I can't remember what it was, that people were like walking out of the theater like feeling sick, and like a few people fainted, but I can't remember which one it was now.
Weird. That's like a roller coaster, but in a movie. It's like,
yeah.
That's wow. Well, I mean, if that's what they're going for, but that's funny. I don't know if I like if it's just gory, because I don't know because I do watch Evil Dead, and that gets gory even though it's kind of like jokey.
Yeah. So Art the Clown is kind of like a new age like slasher. So it's got a lot of like goriness in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what I haven't seen the new one yet, so I don't know exactly what is in that one. But in the first movie, he saws a girl like right down the center in half.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I love that. You're just
so
like
good.
giggling like
Just go horror movies for days. Just drinking my tea, just do.
That's amazing. And then everyone else is like, it's so funny how different people are about it, because there's like, I have friends that are like, they wouldn't even like this level gore. They think it's really, they're scared. They got scared of watching the Ash versus the Evil Dead, which is like clearly
It's
like not. I mean,
it's more of a comedy.
it's just. Yeah, we were watching it, and then he was like, "Turn it off."
Oh,
and I was just like, "Why?"
oh, that's so
I just
sad.
thought it. Yeah, it's just like, "Oh, you sweet summer child."
Oh, I wish.
Oh, I don't wish that at all. I'm like, can you watch like a lot of things on TV? Like, oh, nope, next. No, it's so funny how like it's like that's his level, like their level, and to me that's like, I'm just like, this is actually funny. I loved Ash versus the Evil Dead, the Netflix one. Oh my god, I love that show so much.
I still haven't watched it. I actually, because I haven't seen Ash versus Evil Dead. Like I hadn't seen the movie.
Oh really?
I've seen obviously Evil Dead and the second one, but I hadn't seen that one. So me and Antonio just watched that one actually not too long ago.
It's good, and there's a lot of it now. I think it's on had been 4 seasons, and it has like Lucy Lawless comes in. My favorite, the Warrior Queen, the Warrior Princess.
Yeah.
I love her so much, and no one will understand my gay. She is. I have my gay love for her. She's the queen.
Yeah,
she's the queen. If I ever meet her, I'll just be like, I might not even be able to speak. I'm just like. I think she's actually just also seems like a really cool person.
Yeah,
really down to earth.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the whole series is so good, and it's like the gore is crazy, and sometimes it was a little much because I'd be eating it on my lunch break, and then just like eating something like, oh shit, there's ketchup in here, and it's just like the person like saws the person in half, and it's everywhere. It's like covers them, even as you know what, even as an, and I'm just like. My parents would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You've changed.
Who are you? I don't even know you anymore.
But I just love it, and it's kind of funny though. I would even wonder with the actors, like, that almost seems like a strain on them, you know, because it's like a lot. Like it's like, and they can be laying down, and it's just like everywhere on their mouth and like there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, this is you better get paid just for this, all the splatter, like and stain you might get in your hair or something, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like in the new Evil Dead, when she barfs on one of them, I can't remember what it is, and she just like projectile vomits like all over her face. And I'm like, oh man, you should get a really good paycheck for that, because that looked nasty. I mean, it probably wasn't gross, but
right. But I mean, like, even for the person to be, this is my job. I have to have this happen to me a few times.
Yeah. I have to do retakes.
Oh, that would be the worst. I can even. I was kind of wondering, like, if they do have to do repeats in the Ash vs. Evil Dead, or if it's like they just try and hit it so well the first time that they don't ever need to.
I mean,
I wonder.
It's hard because I know I've been on like movie sets and stuff where we've had to do reshoots where we thought it was going to go really well and then it doesn't. I mean, there's always something that's going to come up. So.
Oh yeah,
hard to say.
So funny. So let me just see where did my book go? Oh.
So you said you have another costume, okay? Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just going to be like a Roman toga, cool emperor. I don't know. It's very boring, very bland, but I've never actually worn a toga, so it'll be fun. Oh, I think I have, but you know, I haven't had one for a long time.
I went to the toga party. It was pretty fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. But... So what did you do? You role played?
No. Well, everybody just dressed up in togas, and then we played like beer pong and drank and.
Oh, it's just a normal.
Just a normal party.
Yeah. Okay, so would you survive challenge? That could be fun.
Oh, okay, sure.
Do you watch The Walking Dead?
I started watching it, and then when Glenn died, I kind of stopped.
You just stopped?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I kind of lost interest around that time. The story just wasn't really capturing my interest anymore, and then I kind of just stopped watching it.
That's fair, actually.
It's ending, isn't it?
I mean, it has to sometimes. It better. Yeah, it's a lot to. I haven't kept up all the way to it, so I guess I can't really talk. I like it, but like there's definitely times where there's like lulls, and you sometimes it's a bit harder to get through. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so this is the scenario. What would your role be in the zombie apocalypse group? You and your friends are sitting at home when the lights flicker on. The lights are breaking. The reporter speaks of a new, rapidly spreading disease, one that makes those inflicted act in strange ways, like biting others and losing the ability of common thought. They say experts recommend to stay at home. If you know anyone who's infected, see an infected, or suspect someone to be infected, you run or kill. The disease is spreading through the infected by biting or clawing at you. How do you react? So let's just spiral into a panic attack, and nothing can keep me calm. I'm deathly afraid. I'm concerned, but stay calm on the surface. I offer my panicking friends comfort, but secretly start thinking of how to survive this situation. Sorry, I should have said A and B. So this is C. I am skeptical. Where did this disease come from? Why is it suddenly such a danger? What's being done to help? D. I sit in shocked silence and cannot really comprehend the news. E. I laugh, mainly unconcerned. My friend already bites and lacks any common thought. How worse could this be?
I don't know why that last one was really funny.
How worse could this be? Yeah.
I probably would be calm on the outside. Probably.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
That's fair. Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure what I would be. I think it's hard to say. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. That's really hard to say. I feel like I probably would have a panic attack, but I would calm down too. So I'm not. I don't know. I think it's like between 1 and 2, but yeah, that makes sense.
I would like to think that I would be calm, but then if something like that would happen, I'd probably like just run around in circles screaming.
Yeah, it's hard to know when you're not in the situation, but like you would want to hope that you would be able to.
Yeah.
So 2, you all decide you need to go to get supplies in case shops shut down. What vehicle do you recommend to use? A, an abandoned school bus can fit people and supplies, but doesn't need much fuel and is lightweight. B, an average old car, discreet and quiet, but also can go fast when needed. C, a cream egg car. I don't know why this is colorful. Everything zombies won't be expecting. Watch them try to grab us in our fortress of solitude. Protection. What? I love that. That's so random. I'm just even gonna show a picture of what they're showing. And then an old sports car, fast enough to speed away from zombies and small enough to get through large crowds of them. Next option is an abandoned double-decker bus, can fit a lot of people, supplies, and run over zombies. What do you think would be the best one?
I don't know. Buses are really big. But that would, I mean, we would both be able to hold a lot of supplies, though. That's the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like maybe a normal vehicle, like normal size vehicle.
Just a normal size one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So which one is the normal size? It's a average old car. Okay.
Yeah.
So 3, the shops are empty when you get to them. The glass is broken and lights are off. You have no idea if anyone is in there. You decide to go in anyway, and you all split up into different sections to get supplies. Which supplies do you get? Weapons, warm, spare clothes. C, the first aid kit. D, food and water. E, buckets of fuel for the car.
Probably the medical kit.
First aid? Okay.
Yeah.
You decide you should all get your own weapons just in case. Which weapon do you get? A, there were none left. B, a gun. C, a mega battle axe. D, a multi-purpose knife. Or E, a quickly made mini axe.
Battle axe.
Battle axe.
Yeah.
5, you get changed into more suitable clothes for the apocalypse. What are they? So, these are just, it doesn't say. Do you see the one page now?
Yeah.
Which one would you choose?
A. I think. Yeah.
A? Okay. And your group decide you're good to go and set off. What scene do you come across as you drive home?
No, probably the bottom one, I think. Yeah, let's go with the bottom one.
And when you get home, your windows are shattered and there's red graffiti over your door. It says, "The world's not safe." You decide to go somewhere else. Where does your group camp overnight? In the woods, taking turns to watch, in an abandoned shop, in someone else's house, in a tunnel under the city, or in the car/bus.
Abandoned shop.
And then 8 quick zombies have found you and are attacking. What do you do? Start blindly attacking zombies
it's too
with a
small
weapon.
for me to read.
Okay, no worries. Starts blindly attacking the zombies with my weapon. They're getting on my nerves now. B, make sure everybody doesn't split up and keep morale up, encouraging everybody to fight and live. C, help the injured people by doing first aid on the wounds and hope they don't get infected. D, stand in front of others to protect themselves in front of others to protect themselves from the zombies. The group's survival is a higher priority to me than my own. And then E, hide behind someone else whilst I observe to find a weakness in the zombies. My top priority is me surviving rather than the group.
Helping was first aid.
First aid?
Yeah.
And then 9, you will survive luckily, but one of your friends are bitten. What do you suggest the group does? So kill them. As much as it's sad to see the friend die, it has to be done for the greater survival of everyone else. Depends on the person. If I'm close to them, I can bring myself to kill them. And then final, keep them with us. There has to be a cure. We can't just let people die. It's not right.
The first one.
First one?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the greater good. We watch too many horror movies.
No. Gotta cut them while they're...
So you... Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, it's kind of true, though, in this scenario. You're the support. You're extremely selfless and good-hearted, even to a fault. Your main priority is helping others, which doesn't coincide with what you just said.
For the majority, I want to...
You're just like, oh... You're just like, cut them off. You know, we can't all survive this. And then it's just like, you're the support. You're supposed to help people. Oh, that's so funny.
That's funny.
Did we talk about Annihilation last time?
I think we might have, yeah.
God, that was scary. Also because I don't know what the hell is going on in it. It's creepy.
Yeah, it was definitely weird, like surreal horror.
I didn't like the fact that they, it was turning everything into each other, like the shark the crocodile that had like shark teeth, and I'm like, what the?
Yeah. I also really didn't like the bear things. That screamed. That they made like the screaming noises.
That was so scary. I didn't even understand that really. Like, how did it absorb? I'm like, what?
So whatever it had killed before, it was mimicking.
Yeah.
So kind of, I guess, like a raven.
That's so creepy.
Yeah.
I guess, makes sense if it's a raven. Okay, I thought it was like absorb. Well, it was kind of absorbing it, but it was like mimicking it in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so scary. And it was like make that noise, and when the bear came out, it's like, It's just terrifying. And they're so hard to kill. Like, it just takes, like, they're weirdly strong.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want to mess with one of those, that's for sure.
Terrifying. Terrifying. Just see horror. Oh, right, and I guess these are like full strips. Jesus, I'm seeing. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. Well, I mean, like, we were just having fun anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, just chatting is good. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. So.
Yeah,
my
exactly.
face. I don't know if you can see it, but my face is starting to peel.
But that looks even better, though, in a way, right? It's scarier in a way. I hate that. Ugh.
It'll pop.
It's like this. You're like wearing a mask. You're like
it might be able to come off in like
Yeah, like 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 what is that? What was that? Leatherface. What was that guy who did that?
Yeah.
And it was like based on the true story of him
Ed
doing
Gein?
using people's. That's his name, the guy, the real guy's name.
The serial murderer was Ed Gein, and he used to sew like people's skin together to make like lampshades and clothes and stuff for himself to wear. That's who Buffalo Bill is based off of too.
That's.
Isn't it?
How did he get away with that though? Like, how did he even get away with like one? Like, and no one like. Did he never have people over? I guess like, and they're like, oh, that feels like skin.
I think that it may have been like hidden away. I don't know if he I have no idea if he even really had like relationships with people because of the way that he was. I can't recall, but I mean,
It's terrifying.
yeah, it's so gross.
Yeah, have you seen the Dahmer on Netflix?
I have actually.
It's scary. It's.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
Oh yeah, definitely. They. I mean, I watch a lot of documentaries. Like I watch a lot of like murder documentaries and stuff. So I didn't know quite a bit about him, but there was some things that I had no idea about either. But yeah, he's a messed up dude. That one. So gross.
And I mean, like it's so sad because it was like the fault of like sometimes the police officers weren't really caring, and then the mom was like, "No, of her child." She's like, "No, you have to investigate."
Yeah, and they were like, "No, like he is an adult. Like he's not a child. We know that he was in a relationship with this other guy and all this kind of stuff." And I was like, "But they dropped the ball like really bad."
Mm-hmm. And the fact that like when you'd go there, like it's so sad because it's so close. It's so close to just being to having known, like even just being in the room for a second, you could the smell underneath the boards and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that would just be terrible.
Oh, yeah.
And that one guy who escaped. Oh my god, that was so scary. I was like, that gave.
He was so lucky, so lucky. Oh my god, like.
Yeah.
Evan Peters, I think is who played Dahmer. He did a freakishly good job.
Yeah, the thing that I was talking to friends about is it kind of just like dawned on me too, is that it's a little different when you think of, I know, like, obviously there's, especially for women, to be fair, like, there's a lot of a bigger pool of, like, these absolutely evil people, and then they, who they go for. But it is kind of interesting, like, when I was talking to friends, and I would just realize, like, oh, I too would be legitimately the exact type of person he would go for. Like, he loved minorities, loved black people. The overwhelming majority were black men. Well, I shouldn't say presumably, noted to be feminine black men, especially, but yeah, so it's scary to think that, like, like when I realized that it kind of was like, it's kind of a different dimension of like, oh, well, there's Ted Bundy and he had so many people and gross evil with women, but then when it's like, oh no, it's specifically you would be like. But my friend was just like, "Oh, don't worry." But you don't go to clubs, so you that's where he picked
Yeah.
people up, so he would be fine. And he wouldn't go back with someone in the first date of like never.
No.
Yeah.
No,
So-
you'd be way too smart for that.
But you think so, but like it's scary when
But-
someone's like when they do. He's like a little bit charming. Like he's like weird but charming in a little way.
yeah. And same with oh my god, I can't remember his name. Actually, I think it might be Bundy.
Bundy?
Yeah, they were both very like. They had the gift of the gab, basically. They were very easy to talk to.
Yes.
They were very like smooth talking. They knew how to manipulate the people that they were talking to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was very attractive. Jeffrey Dahmer,
Yeah.
because, and that look, especially I think at the time, was just such an obsession with gay men, being like, oh my god, you're dominant and blonde haired and had very piercing, scary eyes.
Yeah.
So, and he was, you don't really think about it even when you see like actual pictures of him going to jail, like, oh, he was actually pretty attractive. But obviously, and you kind of wonder with people like that, I don't know. I feel like there must be like real true evil that's not even, there's been interviews with his dad made a book,
Yeah.
and I don't think it could have actually ever come from him, not that level, because it's just, he kept everything inside and different things that happened. Like he told the story, I watched this Oprah interview after I watched the, I guess it's a documentary miniseries, where he's talking to Oprah, and like, as a lot of people were at the time, they're like, how could you not, this must go back to the dad. This must be seen somewhere or in childhood or what happened to him. And then the dad was very analytical. He was a scientist. So he had that mind of like, really, like legitimate breaking things down of, studying and thing. And, he said there was one time where he, was cleaning up underneath the porch, deck, I guess, of their family home. And there was like some type of animal that was eating like little rodents. And so they had skulls and everywhere. And he just, the first thing he said, he remembered of something being creepy, but not really thinking of it, much of it, was Dahmer was just picking it up, and he was just dropping the skulls back into the bin that he was collecting them in. But it wasn't even, he said, when questioned, his dad said didn't even seem like that much of an obsession. It was like, just like if someone has a rock and it's like, going down and it's hitting the other rock. So he said it didn't seem like weird at all. And I don't think most parents would have seen that as weird, because it was like, I think my parents would have been like, Kate, that's a little weird. Like, just move the bucket away from the kid or something like that, but not really thinking much more about it. But this guy just seemed to internalize his obsession.
Yeah. Well, and he had like this. I mean, it must have been something that he might have been born. I mean, obviously, it must have been something he was born with, or it was due to his mom doing the drugs that she was on when she was pregnant with him. But he just he really had this really bad abandonment issue. Where he thought everybody was going to leave him. And I mean, his mom did technically leave him at one point of his life. But it's so weird how something like that, seemingly relatively normal, may have triggered something that was working or already in his brain that was already there. I mean, it's just, it's crazy.
I think, I feel like some of it comes to like it does come from the person alone of the obsession with, and as the dad actually indicated, and which is important, especially then when very few parents, I believe, talk to their sons. He said it, like very few people talk to their sons about, children when they're going through sexuality and developing. He said, like, I think he was like, my biggest advice for people is to talk to them about everything that they're feeling, because I think he thinks that it warped him, his sexuality, and it went just in a completely different way. Whereas, like, if he was able to talk to him about what he would be feeling, and I don't think, and that from what it sounded like, that it wasn't that much about like it necessarily being about gay, because he even seemed to understand that. It was more just about like how he got this perverted like feeling he needed to kill and be with, and then all the worse. And I think that could be true, because different things I've watched with crime. I think and it makes sense that oftentimes the parents are just assuming the kid is not is normal, because there would be no reason why you'd start to think that. Like, there's this one I watched where this woman, this girl was just so young and like 14 or something, very, very, really young. And she was, even going through starting to get her sexuality right. But in her journal, she'd like write things about like her fantasy about killing people. And the parents, and she was actually being raised by her grandparents at the time, and they had absolutely no clue. She didn't seem like this at all. She just seemed sometimes a little weird, wanted to be alone. But like, I just feel like there's some type of that does start with them, and then it just if only they could get caught, but they're usually know not to tell people. They're just like, I just really wish I could kill someone. And then she kills this little girl. She killed a little girl because she just had that obsession of, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's like almost seems like it's more than just this world in some ways. I'm not usually that much like that, but I don't know.
Well, I think it's because, like, I know I've had conversations like this with Antonio and even my mom and stuff too, where, like, I can't really understand why someone would do that. Like, and I think it's because we don't think the same way that, like, someone of that mindset thinks. Like, because, I mean, I would never kill anybody. You would never kill anybody. So, like, we can't comprehend that. But to someone who doesn't have empathy or compassion, or, like, if it is something, like outworldly or whatever, there's nothing there that is triggering those things that we technically have. So it's probably a mix of a few things, but it is like some people are just really like. I just still don't understand why he eat them.
I kind of.
Why would you eat them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Like
that whole thing is so weird.
I don't know. I really feel like there's. I don't say it for much, but I do think that's like. I kind of go back to, I love Hinduism. I'm sorry, I'm just a nerd. I love Hinduism, and I love the theology of it. But like, one aspect that they have that's not really common in a lot of Western religions' faiths is that they do say that there is a part of that's the destroyer. Like, some people, like some beings are literally to destroy, because in a way it will help, almost like in reincarnate or create something like this. They also mean like destroying of old societies and then recreation of into a new society, that type of thing too. But like they do mean, destroyers, killers, who are the evil, can also, like, it's also an aspect of the balance of the world. And I kind of wonder if there's like when you're that level of fucked up. It's like, are you really human
Yeah.
fully? You know what I mean? Like, I get that his mind might be, but like, even a lot of other cultures, and from even a lot of other cultures, if they're poor, if they're poverty stricken, killing people and cannibalism is just such a different level of such a, like, it's a, some people describe it like your survivors who had to do it to survive. They say it like it actually changes your mind. Like, it's like you break something in your mind. They really, like, they've described it as that. And I kind of wonder if that's like true. You're not really, I mean, obviously you can be the same person, but like, are you really fully like any other human, or is there something like else
like
going
animal,
on?
like almost like animalistic, like tendencies take over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's so strange.
It's very
but like
scary.
with Dahmer, like, I just, because I know he said like the reason why he ate his victims was because he wanted to keep a part of them with him always. But
yes. Ugh. I hate it.
I just don't know how you get to that. Like, how like killing someone initially, but then like chopping them up and cooking them and then eating them. What? Like, that's on a whole
and
level.
keeping them for as long as you can, and like, I'm pretty sure he also practiced necrophilia, right?
I think so. I'm not sure if he actually.
Let's just throw it all in there.
I'm not sure if he actually had sex with the bodies, or he like masturbated. While doing it, like chopping their bodies and stuff up. I think that was more so what it was, but because I don't.
And it's so many people.
Yeah.
How can you possibly get through that many people? It's crazy that he was able to.
Like, I know it was early 90s and stuff, right? But like, I just don't know how he got away with it for so long. Because, I mean, his neighbor was constantly calling. And she was always like, always on the manager that was there. And then, I just don't, I mean, I know it was like low income area and more poverty stricken, and they just, I don't know, just didn't care enough. I don't know.
I think they didn't care, and they just thought so much of like, oh, we'll just leave him to whatever that, like, just leave him, and in a weird way, like, for a long time, it seemed like the police had this idea that, like, initially it was like, okay, we'll stomp out, homosexuality with violence just because, whatever, and they did still exist then. But then there was, the more starting to be of, oh, we'll just leave them. But that also meant like anyone who ever gays who never needed police could not rely on them. And that's those scenes elsewhere, and like the people who needed police, if gays would not be safe with them, would not be held in the same regard as like most people, like, and that's just sad
it is
truth.
really sad. It was because it was that weird time period where it was being where gay marriage and stuff was being a little bit more accepting, But the police didn't know how to handle certain situations. And so a lot of the times they just kind of went with whatever was being said and didn't really think didn't think anything of it. And we're just like, okay, because they didn't want to step over boundaries and cause more problems in the gay community with the police, because there was already that fight between the two of them. Right? So it was just unfortunate that he was, that he just was in that time period, and and that had to happen.
Just like, so, just the, it all worked for him because of the time that he lived in. It's so sad. It's so sad because, and no one, and it's that they're gay, but then also black gay or minority gay people, but especially black gay men had been like historically, because a lot of times it's so sad, but even now in some places, but rarely, but it's black gay men are not are the most downtrodden group in a way, in especially in history. Like, I mean, even when people would say like Martin Luther, he was vehemently against black gay men. Like he'd be like, he'd call them like nigger faggots, and the faggot is going to, we have to stop. And he believed they were black gay men. Me, were like the worst thing in society. Like he hated us. He thought it was like the most disgusting perversion. So yeah, even when you have a leader like that, like leader for civil rights other ways, but for us, like they were left out. So I think a lot of people, like black people, had no respect for it. And then the police at the time especially were like, oh, well, I'm talking to these people who are on this low rung of society.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, but it was,
just terrible.
And I mean, John Wayne Gacy was around the same time too, because it was just after Dahmer had got caught that John Wayne Gacy also got caught as well too.
Oh, right. I guess the same time period.
Yeah, because Dahmer was actually watching the Gacy trial on the TV.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because
I guess
they
that's
were
true.
comparing the two of them and saying like both of them are like monsters and stuff, because they both went after young men.
Oh, I'm thinking. Yeah, okay. I got John. Okay, now I know who you're talking about. I confused him with
Ted Bundy.
Yeah. Is that the clown guy?
Yeah.
No, the clown
John
guy.
Wayne Gacy. He was Pogo the clown.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was the clown. Okay, so he was the clown guy.
He was the one that ran the like handyman business and would hire young men to come and work for him, and then they would work for him for a couple of weeks or a couple months, and then they would disappear. Yeah.
Gross.
And they were pretty much all of them were like underneath his house. He was hiding the bodies underneath the house. Yeah.
Oh, house. Okay, yeah.
And he even had even had some of his workers bury a barbecue pit in the back that was like 6 or 8 feet deep, which seemed really weird to them for a barbecue pit. And it was because John Wayne Gacy was burying bodies underneath there. And he was getting them to dig the graves for him. And they had no idea.
Gross. That's just so terrible.
Right?
Yeah, that's really that's so fucked.
Yeah, it like, it gives me chills. Like I've got goosebumps. That kind of thing,
right?
Real
Yeah,
life
that's just
serial killers and stuff like that. That kind of stuff gets me.
Right. Yeah. No, because those people will get you. Yeah. They're scary. Yeah, and humans are definitely like this more scary than anything really out there. I feel like in a way. Things we can do to each other.
People. Like can be horrible people.
Yeah. Well, it's like I feel like our diversity is so wide. It's like I think it's almost like we do know it in when we write fantasy or sci-fi, is that they often have humans as being like abnormally diverse, and I feel like that I don't know, it seems like it's kind of true because we are just so different, like in how our minds could work, and you suddenly go into this rabbit hole or you think this, and you can have like those people had convictions about their owning people, like as if they were as if it was their religion. Like this person will never leave me, and they lay beside it, and like it's just. And how do they know? What weirds me out the most about it is how do they not have like any doubt, you know what I mean? Even
like with being caught or
no, I mean doubt of that's what they want. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I killed someone. Oh my God, I can't believe I actually thought I was thinking about it, but I can't believe I actually did it. Like, somewhat redeemable. But these people are like, yes, they did it, and then they also liked every other step. How do they know they like every other step? You know what I mean?
I think it's just because they have that disconnection where they don't really feel the same kind of feelings that we would. I think that's where like their empathy is missing or their compassion is missing. Because, like, if say I were to throw something at somebody because I was mad at them, automatically I would be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, if I hurt you, whatever, like, I would automatically be like, I'm sorry, like, and kind of backtrack and being obvious. But with someone like that, they wouldn't have that. It's so hard because like the human mind is so complex that it's just like it's hard to comprehend everything.
You just have to. Yeah, you just have to wonder where that could start. And God, I'm just so glad there's not more people like that. They're just so rare. They're so rare because the people who do the entire follow through of murder and then liking the bodies and enjoying, just terrible. I can't imagine being one of those family members either.
Yeah.
Like that would be just.
I know that that this Ted Bundy miniseries, or sorry, not Ted Bundy, Dahmer, really hit really hard for some of the victims and some of the victims' families, because apparently they didn't get like permission to loop for some of the scenes and stuff that they were talking about. So Netflix is coming under some fire, I think. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that would make sense because they were actual humans and they. I see. I don't know. I didn't know that you would need permission, but I guess it would make sense just out of grace.
Yeah, I think it's just out of just compassion for the families and stuff. To get permission and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm actually watching a series called A Friend of the Family. And it's about this girl who gets abducted by this family friend.
God.
I've watched like the actual documentary of it, and this is like a mini series, and it is like it's eerie. It's really disturbing. But at the beginning of the first episode, the girl Jan, who actually went through everything, she come on and said that they had gotten permission to tell her and her family's story, so that something like this couldn't happen again. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's. I find those ones hard to watch though. I'm like the abduction and like the girls or the sex slave. I find it so hard because I just want the guy to die, and I like Game of Thrones has influenced me too much. I'm just like, okay, so then suddenly she grabs a knife and then gets like this, and no, it can't happen. She's a little girl, right?
Or
there's like
he's 10... so. Like, the way he manipulates her is just so disgusting. Like,
I can't believe it, too. And I can't... It's hard to even imagine that this happens, you know?
Yeah, it's scary.
It is scary. It's scary because, like, it's... That story is probably so close to home. And I don't know what it is. I feel like it's like something about when it's women is harder for me to watch. I don't know why. I feel like it just is.
For me, I think it's because I'm a woman. Because it hits home for me in that sense. But I really have a hard time when it's got anything to do with kids. Yeah. I mean, it's bad at any age, like, but especially children, because they're so innocent. Like, yeah.
And those people who grew up in twisted homes where, you know, the dad abducted the girl, and then she now is having children.
Yeah.
It's just like,
this one.
And that's all the kids know.
Yeah, this one, he like tells her that they got abducted by aliens, and she's an alien from another planet. And she is. They were taken away to do this mission together, and this mission was for them to get married, basically, and for her to procreate with him, so that she could save her planet.
That sounds familiar, and I don't know if I've seen this story in another form.
Maybe. I know media. There's an actual documentary called Abducted in Plain Sight.
Was the woman's family member helping grandma or something?
No.
Okay. I'm thinking of a different one then.
Were both actually in a sexual relationship with this guy. Yeah, the mom and the dad. were both having sexual relations with him. Like, they were both...
And that's not enough for him, this fucker.
Yeah. So he had to take their... she's 12, I think. She's like 12, yeah. I think. Fucked up.
So they didn't know, or they did know?
Had convinced them that he wanted to take her on a horsebacking trip. So they were going for a evening horseback ride after her piano lesson, and they just never came back.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
So evil. I hate this. I hate these men. I just want them to
like he die. Just
painfully.
He makes my skin crawl. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evil. This is such a... well, I mean, it was a Halloween episode, so we did talk about...
It's always a Halloween episode when there's talk of murder.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's true. I just normally don't talk about it for this long.
Almost 2 hours.
Like, oh, well. No.
Almost 2 hours.
Right. Yeah, it was like, oh... Well, I mean, yeah, especially when it's this dark. I mean, there should be a way to lighten the conversation just as we end. I mean, you know, the fact that things have changed a lot in the case of the black gay men being listened to a bit more in society. That's important.
Yes,
that's happened. I don't think that would. I don't think a Dahmer would be able to happen. Like, I mean, yeah, he likely would be able to get a few victims. I'm not going to lie, but you know, the denial and the system failing them, and that wouldn't happen. I don't think it would, you know, be weeks and, you know, of people being missing, and they're like, oh well, we don't care, they're black and gay, and, you know, but so, you know, things are done. Things are looking up
there's
in that way.
So. In that, so. So that's always a good thing, and progression in the you know, the police system and stuff too, with actually capturing murders and stuff like that, or stopping it before it happens.
Yeah, that's gotten a lot better. That people and I think society is also like we know a lot more of the signs. We can kind of, not all the time, of course, but like there's a lot of times where we just get a sense, or like, oh, I wouldn't want to do that, or, you know, I do think that people are smarter that way than they used to, because they are now aware of those terrible stories that have happened, and like, okay, we can't have to, you know, try and protect yourself if you know, in different ways. So, I mean, it's gotten better in that way, and I definitely don't think it would happen again. Oh my god, my shirt is just so tattered. I went overboard. I feel like when I was burning, I'm just like, like it's just
it's very holy.
It's falling apart, and I have to. So I'm gonna try and wear this again for this Halloween, right? So I don't know. I'm gonna have to be like, just like gently take it off, because it was like falling apart when I was.
Whoops.
I should not have taken that ladder. I'm just like, oh, okay. Well.
Did you actually like catch it on fire? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I love it. That's like my level of dedication.
Several times, but I'm just right? Because I like, some people would be like, "This is actually crazy."
That's awesome. Well, my shirt has
But I
been
had
through many of photo shoots and makeups, so it's literally covered in so many different, like, fake dirt, blood, everything.
Can you get the stuff out? Like, don't think I've gotten fake blood on anything. Or that I kept, I
Depending
guess.
on
Like,
what it is, if it's white, it usually will stain. Some bloods you might be able to get out with soap and water. But most light clothing usually stains, like kind of a pinky color. Yeah.
oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know it was that
unfortunately,
strong.
Yeah. There isn't really any way to avoid that. Oh, yeah, with light clothing, it's kind of it just takes the pigment.
Oh, okay. So good to know, because I haven't worn anything that I would wear outside of that. But I guess actually, I guess that makes sense, because I remember I stained like quite a bit on, and it took a lot of like washes on my cupboard, and like I think I got some on the wall just beside my bathroom when I was moving, and I'm like, it stained pink for a long time, so that makes sense.
For stuff like that, if you use like an alcohol wipe, it might take it off a little bit easier.
Oh, alcohol wipe. Okay. Tricks of the trade. Okay, nice.
Yeah,
oh my god, this is so much fun.
This was good. I'm glad that we did this.
Yeah, this was good.
It's so much fun always talking to you.
Is slowly like peeling even more and more.
Traveling.
Well, it's all latex and tissue paper, like Kleenex.
Tissue paper,
That's what that is. Yeah.
Really?
To give like that
Whoa,
like
that's
skin
really
leathery
cool.
texture.
Yeah, I knew. I kind of suspected it wasn't your skin up there, even, because I'm like, you don't know if it looked that color.
If I was that color, I think I'd be a bit of a problem.
Oh. Weird. Oh my god,
Like
that's so creepy.
Now.
It's like hanging now.
That's almost scary,
it makes
really.
Really good for like fake skin. If you want like
fake skin.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I never thought of that. That would be a cool idea next year.
Yeah, it works really good. Just I mean, if you have a latex allergy, don't use it. But
no, I don't. You just take it off.
It's slowly peeling now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, it was so much fun talking to you. We should do this again.
Yeah,
I enjoy it so much.
I know that we had talked about doing a couple different things. So we'll have to do another one again sometime soon.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
My shin feels so soft now.
Oh, that's it. Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah. It's just like going to change, your whole face goes down and it just changes each level. Yeah, we should do this again. It was a lot of fun.
This was awesome. Thanks again for having me on. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you for being on. And I'll talk to you later.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.